Hey Jill fans, it's Ronnie from the Jewelry's Archive. We're about to make a very special drop of toys here at the Houston Toy Museum, so come along with us. Oh my gosh, Lauren, can you believe this?
I can't.
I am here in Houston with Matt from the Houston Toy Museum and Lauren Height-Susan from Mad Cave Studios, and we've been talking about the relaunch of Jewel Riders.
Yes.
This is so exciting!
It really is.
And now we've driven thousands of miles just to present these toys to here to the Houston Toy Museum. So we're gonna go ahead and start going through some of these toys. I packed them up really nicely so that way they wouldn't. Did you see all this bubble wrap
Oh
here?
my gosh.
I know, I wanna make sure that nothing got damaged here. So, I mean, Matt, tell me, like, do you know anything about the Jewel Riders? Has Sarah shared anything?
I've learned more, like stalking y'all and finding out all about y'all.
Okay.
Because I was just so fascinated. I love that y'all took this passion and made it your own. And it's just, I just want to be, I'm happy to be a part of it. Like, you know, we feel very privileged that y'all you want to do something here with us, and we're so excited.
Well, I mean, really, Lauren, this is kind of your baby because you're the one who connected with Sarah from the Houston Toy Museum, right?
Yeah. So I've seen you guys at Comic-Palooza before. I'm a Houston native, and I reached out to Allie Khan, who runs marketing for Mad Cave, and I said, I have this idea for the Princess Gwenevere book. So the Houston Toy Museum does these Saturday morning cereal and cartoon parties. What if we did something with them? And Allie said, sure, you know, go for it. And I was really, really lucky that, you know, Matt and Sarah were willing to let us do this, and then I reached out to you guys, and I'm so honored that you are lending the toys to the museum. These toys were a huge part of my childhood, like a core memory. And it's gonna be really neat to put them on display in celebration of the book, and we're gonna watch the show. We're gonna watch both shows, King Arthur as well. And I'm thrilled beyond words. I say this all the time, that working on this project really has been like a dream come true for me. I would love to tell a 5-year-old me that I'm doing this as an adult. I would just love to explain that to myself as a
It'd be kind of like, wait. Are you for real? Because I don't believe you.
I don't believe you. Especially, I think I would, as a kid, think, oh my gosh, wait, you're talking to people that you don't have to explain that show to. Because growing up, I had to explain the show to everyone. I think I was the only kid actually watching it.
Right.
But it's been neat that
none of us had that experience. Not any of us.
A core Jewel Riders, I think, experience is thinking that you dreamt the show at one point.
You were the only one to know about this show for, you know, thousands of miles around.
It comes up a lot on Saturday morning cartoons where people are just like, oh, you remember the show? Like, I feel like everyone has this one show in their mind, and for you as Jewel Riders, and it just, the first time they ever hear it, like mine was Ronin Warriors. I felt like that show didn't exist, and I was in an alternate world, and I saw it, no one else did, and every time I mentioned it, no one knew what it was. And then all of a sudden you start to finally meet people, and you're like, oh, you know it too? And you feel like a part of a club that, like, it is part of our culture of growing up with cartoons, especially our generation. And so we learn a lot from these shows, and it shows just how much what we watch sticks with us, and how important it is what we watch. Because these things that, like, there's some shows I won't rewatch sometimes. Like Ninja Turtles is really hard for me to rewatch because that was my pedestal, Ninja Turtles, and so I don't want to ruin my.
Did you not feel like it aged well?
I think I remembered it. I remembered it out of order. So when I rewatched it, I felt like, wait, no, it didn't feel like a right order. And it was only my memory that was, you know, the thing that was, the show was still great, the art and everything. I just loved that part, but I was scared to ruin it sometimes.
I got you. You know, I have to say, I'm a little jealous that you guys are here because unfortunately, I'm not going to be here for this whole launch. So I want to eat Cocoa Puffs and watch Jewel Quest, but oh well, c'est la vie. It's all good. Here we are. So let's go ahead and start taking a look at some of these stories. Oh my gosh, Lauren, so excited! Okay, so let's start off. Oh, this is kind of like a treasure trove here. We'll start off with this. So let's go ahead and start off with the Princess Gwenevere lunchbox. So here we have the lunchbox, and inside it's a treasure box. I'm gonna let you open it.
Okay, I wanted this lunchbox so badly as a child. Actually, this lunchbox is how I got my first Sailor Moon.
Oh, really?
Piece of merch ever. My grandmother wasn't able to find this lunchbox and brought home a Sailor Moon lunchbox and said, well, these are like jewel riders, but they live in the city, and that was my introduction to Sailor Moon. Was this lunchbox?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
We kind of packed it full of stuff.
Oh my gosh, this is taking me back. Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna let you look at this stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh man, I love those
Oh my god,
boxes.
these are the Long John Silver's toys.
Do you guys have Long John Silver's here?
Yeah,
do.
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't even know
anymore.
I definitely went to a Long John Silver's to get one of these toys.
Did
I
you?
couldn't tell you which one, and I don't think I've been to a Long John Silver's since.
I like Hush Puppies, so I go.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Spike was a spelling word for me as a child.
So here we have Princess Gwenevere, and then we have her horse Sunstar.
And Spike the cat. Archie!
Yes. I heard that Mad Cave loves Archie.
Yes, Maya, who is our social media manager, she and I talk about Archie quite a bit just because he's such a charming creature.
Well, in the new comic, I mean, he has such a new, like, bubbly personality.
Yes.
It wasn't really present in the old cartoon series. Like, he was much more of, like, the scholar, you know,
Yeah.
in the cartoon, and now he's kind of this sassy little owl.
When I think of Archie, I often think about the noise that he makes, that little boo!
Yes, exactly.
Yes, that!
Ooh. There's Archie the owl, complete with your 90s vest.
Oh my gosh.
It's a Princess Gwenevere hair clip. I think I needed that today for my hair.
Oh, you should have worn it, yeah.
I know, right? So
Oh my
we
gosh,
got
that's amazing.
the heart and the moon jewel on it.
That's some of my favorite kind of things about around this time, the 80s, I always call it the 30-minute ads.
Yeah.
That's all
Yes.
cartoons were. They're 30-minute ads for the toys.
For promotions.
And they were 30-minute ads filled with ads.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite things about that time is the marketing aspect and all the different types of toys you got. And it wasn't just like you had just like, you know, the doll or the action figure. You had all these different things like a birthday. you
Right.
know, like
Yeah.
We got birthday
Any-
cups and everything.
Birthday
Exactly.
cups.
So Jewel Rise came out in 1995, and so many people say it's so 80s-esque, and it's like it is 80s-esque, but it came out in the 90s.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of reminds you of like Sheila or something like that. So we have the
Oh my gosh, the cups.
yes, the party cups.
It's
so.
amazing how much of this merch I didn't know existed. Because I
Yeah.
definitely had the original dolls. I don't think I had any of the unicorns. And I had the core dolls, and whatever I got from Long John Silver's that I no longer remember. And it's amazing seeing how, because we talked about how the show kind of felt like it only existed in our minds, and it's amazing to see just how much merch was out there that I simply didn't see.
Yeah.
Well, see, that was something that actually Chris and I have talked about before on the podcast, is that the merchandise was so varied that I think that, you know, to really be effective, maybe you should really oversaturate one part of the market,
Yeah.
but not have
Yeah.
like one thing here, one thing there, one thing there, because it's kind of like, okay, there was too much
But that's why there was
dispersed
a
out
lot of
everywhere.
one-hit wonders.
Oh, yeah.
Like Silverhawks, all these things that just had like one or two seasons, and then okay, let's move on to the next thing.
Right.
And they were trying to recreate that aspect. That's why there was like so many mutant shows like Street Sharks and
Street Sharks.
Yeah,
Biker
that was one of my
Mice.
favorite
Biker
shows.
Mice from Mars.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really want that play set. The Biker Mice play set's really cool.
There's a Moo Mesa. I don't remember.
New Mesa's coming out.
Really?
Yeah, they're remaking them.
The extent of my knowledge of it is that it exists.
But
They're
that's
having
what's
a
fun
moment.
about it. That's so fun about it. That now we're, as adults, we're being able to get these things that didn't exist really when we were kids, and we're able to, you know, dive back into these characters.
What it needs though is it needs a current company that still owns the copyright to
Yeah.
be able to release these
Yeah.
things, you know. Meanwhile, with Jewel Riders, it's kind of like, do you own it? Does anyone own this? Hello, into the etherverse, and no one responds until it's convenient for them, and then finally they tell you, oh yeah, we own this, and by the way, thanks for editing those videos for the audio. Can we use it? Yeah, but we're gonna take them down off your YouTube, but we're gonna use your audio.
Yeah.
Thank you, you know, but that's the way it goes. All right, so we have the open toys here.
Oh my gosh.
cool.
So we want to give them
I
to
love
you
Spike
packaged.
so much.
Yeah.
Isn't he cute?
Such
very
like
cute.
I'm a cat person. Like
Are
there
you?
dog people and cat people, and it was nice for me as a kid to see a cat in like a hero role. So like cats are always a little villainous in cartoons.
Well, especially in Disney cartoons.
Yeah, yeah. And Spike is he's just a good boy.
He
He's
is.
just the guy.
He is very good. And then we've got some more merchandising collateral over here.
Oh my god. I've said this a million times. I have this very clear memory of standing in a Toys R Us, holding the Jewel Quest VHS, and thinking this show was made for me.
So many people had that memory. So this is just some advertising stuff that we can use.
I love box VHS sets. I love the art that they would have.
This is like, I'm fangirling so hard right now, holding all of this. Gosh, because you really can see the girls' personalities so clearly. Like, this art is very small, but you can tell exactly who they are.
Man, y'all have and this is just the first little box.
Oh, and this is only just a fraction of the Jewel Riders archive.
Oh man.
See, I definitely had these. These were the ones I had.
Dolls.
The core dolls, because I remember flipping the helmet up and down. It was a very tactile experience. Sunstar translates to being a toy so well.
It's beautiful. So let me here's some more of the promotional cards.
See, this was something that I didn't know existed.
The trading cards?
Yeah, until I was going through your website. I didn't even know about the trading cards, but now that I know about them, I feel like I see more people mention them.
And plus, for the Jewel Riders archive, you can go into there and it's all broken down according to like all these individual archival, like, you know, okay, this is the paper merchandise, this is the clothing merchandise,
this is the kiddie pool.
Exactly. Randomly, the children's pool showed up in Home Alone 3 or something,
That's so
Home Alone
fun.
4.
I do that a lot more though, is when I watch old movies and stuff, I feel like 100% of the time, I'm just looking in the background.
Yeah.
Especially like if it's in like a Toys R Us or something. Like I think someone just rebuilt a Toys R Us for a movie that's coming out.
Oh, I'm sure.
And like it's going viral or something that people want to go
I was gonna say,
and shop again.
I watched Child's Play, and that's what I was like. Okay, I'm looking everywhere. Like, what toys are on the shelves in Child's
I do
Play?
the same thing. I watch Jingle All the Way every year at Christmas. I have way too much fun going through like the kids' room, seeing what he has on display, and like where does Turbo Man fit into the other things that you like?
Sounds like a good bingo card game.
Right?
Yeah.
Everyone go ahead and play that card if you see the toy in the shelving. Yeah, I love it. No, these are really pretty. These ones are the card packs. So we have the open cards, a small selection of them, and then the foil packs as well. So I love the, you know, again, it's something fun that randomly I think that it's just, you wouldn't immediately think like, oh, you know, a show that's targeted for like 7-year-old girls is gonna have trading cards. Like, so I like that part of it.
No, that's really cool that they were trying to branch out
a little bit of diversity.
Yeah.
And then we have the trading cards themselves. So we have a couple of examples of like the foil cards and some of the basic cards with some of the characters on them.
It's crazy how much a little bit of foil just makes you feel like you're holding the world in your hand.
Right?
Like,
exactly.
Like I had a basketball card and it had foil on it, and I remember telling people like, yeah, that's always worth $1, you know, because it has a tiger on it or something like. Right. You hear something at the card shop and you just re-say it like, oh yeah, but it becomes your favorite thing, and all it has is a little bit more flair on it, and
that'll do it.
Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah.
And then the last piece.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
This is another thing that I definitely didn't know existed. The Halloween costume pattern.
That is so cool.
Oh my gosh. And to me, this feels like, I don't want to say like a deep cut for licensing, but I feel like I don't see now as many kind of branded Halloween costume patterns. And oh my gosh, this is just so neat. I wish I had known. This is one of the things that, like, man, I wish I had known about this when I was 5. I wanted a Tamara costume.
Of course,
so bad.
I wanted a Tamara costume. Everyone wanted a Tamara. Use #Tamara forever. That's why.
I just feel like Tamara having every single animal friend, all of them, and a carriage, like she really like had the best of everything. You have 5 animal companions, you get a really awesome unicorn later, but you also get a carriage pulled by a bear. Like, she had it all.
Yeah,
I've said it before.
She was flexing hard.
Should be Tamara and the Jewel Riders, but there you go. It is what it is. So we have the 2 costume pieces. And the funny thing is that when you see the pictures online of people who actually made the costumes, like when you look at them, I'm like, wow, that really does look like it. But the problem is because they're handmade, they're very bulky. Like, I think it's just the material that you choose. It's like, it's just a very bulky material. So you're kind of walking around like a padded superhero.
When we announced it, someone retweeted the announcement with a photo from Halloween of some year, and someone had made her one of her costumes. And it was just really neat to see it in real life. And, the person that tweeted said, this is like full circle for me. The book is coming out on my birthday, and here I am.
Was it really on your birthday? That's so cool.
I was just like, oh my goodness, I hope I'm so excited for you. Like, I was just, vicariously excited.
That's so awesome. Well, whoever you are, that's exciting for you. You want to bring out the next thing?
I'll let you do the honors.
Okay.
Oh my god.
So we're gonna.
This is like Christmas.
I know.
We're gonna jump right in here. I think this is the doll.
Oh, I see pink hair.
Yes, you see Tamara. So let's go ahead and start off. Here, I'm gonna let you go through that.
Yes.
Lauren gets the honor.
Oh my gosh. So here we have Lady Kale. Oh my god.
It's really good quality.
She is just, I think, one of the most effortlessly cool villains. I think she has 3 dragons, and it's really hard to beat your starter number of dragons being 3. And the voice acting on her was so cool. Everything about
Pouring
her.
ore.
Yes.
That's when you know there's good writing. Because if they can get you to love the villain, they got you. It doesn't even matter who the hero is.
Just everything about her
Like a Disney
aesthetic was so
villain.
cool. Yes.
Well,
oh
now
my God.
here's the thing: is that as just randomly the opportunities that we've had at the Doors Archive, we connected with a toy designer. So the art director, Greg Attore, has done several interviews, several conversations on podcasts with us, and talked all about the toy production. And so
cool.
To talk to someone about the toys that you played with, when you were 9 years old, it's just so crazy. And to hear him talk about the story is like, oh yeah, we really talked about, do we want to do it in this color? Do we want to do this color change? What would it be like, when we have the dragon? Because what it does is it changes the coloring of the eyes, so it goes from white eyes to purple eyes, and it's just like, okay, what do you want? It does,
So like these types of gimmicks are really cool with all different types of toys. There's always some kind of gimmick, and that was almost like another thing that was like, you had to come up with something that no one else had.
Right.
And I don't think I ever heard of eye coloring with that.
It's really
So
cool.
that's
you have to kind of hold her at just the right
see
angle to see it, but it's so cool.
Right, it's like, you can see it's like white, and then it's supposed to turn red.
That's
there
cool.
it is, it's red, So it's like she's like demonic Kale or whatever. So that's one thing. And a lot of it's light piping, so like it's not battery operated.
It's
just a simple twist of the plastic, and there you go. Also like the texture of I've said that it looks like dragon like skin a little bit like that, and that's something that like Greg and I had talked about.
Such a cool outfit. Like in the show, she was just, and I know I literally just said this, but an effortlessly cool villain. Everything about her, like the moment she shows up, you know that she is supposed to be respected and feared.
Right.
She's just so cool.
She is.
Oh my god, it's my girl.
Yay, it's Tamara.
Oh yeah. Many hours spent doing this.
Flipping the helmets. Same thing, light piping, so it illuminates the jewels that are on their stomachs.
God.
And the fun thing about these are, originally Mattel was going to do a line for Wonder Woman and the Star Riders, and so it was meant to be kind of this sized of dolls. And Greg, who worked on that, and had also talked about the use of the Disney princess dolls, so they were musical princess dolls that were kind of this same size. And then eventually the Jasmine was the prototype for the Gwenevere, so Greg made the prototype out of Jasmine, and then here we are now.
That's one of my favorite things when you look at toys and you see molds. Molds were very expensive to make.
Of course.
And so like there's a lot of toys, like especially He-Man, like that was a line that a lot of the torsos were used over and over and over for different characters. And it's just it's an interesting way to look back at marketing it and to see why they made the certain decisions they did.
Right.
Character.
I'm flashing back so hard. Y'all are talking about like kit bashing, and I'm just like, wow, I remember it
I think
all.
10-year-old Lauren is just sitting here just like, it's like Saturday morning playing with my dolls again.
Oh my gosh, she's so cool. She's just, I liked that she had a skirt. That was, I thought her outfit was so cute. And again, all the animals, the pink hair, the kind of like butterfly helmet, just everything about her appealed to me. Oh my gosh.
You and everyone else.
I know.
Yeah, she has an awesome helmet.
But yeah.
Always like the concept they would do on toys, like the added armor.
Yes.
Like that was a really cool concept that they they didn't mind doing now that there was more pieces to lose. But
Right.
Yeah, these are cool.
Oh my gosh. I see. Ooh, I got bubble wrap. And here's Gwen.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I like how ornate the helmets are
Yeah.
on these.
Much more than in the animated series. Yeah.
But I think it's cool because you can kind of add these add like how detailed these helmets are onto when you watch the show. Oh man. I loved how shiny these were.
The paint or the
No, just like the accessories
The flair
and
that went with
everything about them really like still speaks to me as an adult, but really spoke to me as a kid. Like it felt like it was for me in a way that I don't think I saw a lot of toys.
Right.
And it was just really cool because I felt like I could be friends with these girls.
Greg talked a lot about the coloring of the plastic and the translucent was supposed to be like it's like a magical piece of armor or something like that. So
Yeah, this is so cool. I like that she has these full-on bird wings.
or Pegasus wings.
Yes.
Yeah.
I introduced Gwenevere to my husband. We've watched Jewel Quest probably 4 times, and the thing we quote the most is one of Sunstar's siblings saying, "You're a turkey," and it's every time it is permanently tied to Sunstar now. Just "You're a turkey." It's like Sunstar is great, of course, but I often think of her very mean sibling calling her a turkey.
Yeah. That's why we can identify ourselves when we're not the favorite child.
Oh my god. Fallon is so cool. I think
Oh yeah.
just something about like Fallon wasn't afraid, and she just is a bold leader. Like she is. I love her cape. I love the way her cape is like Fallon is.
Well, Mad
She's
Cave
really
also
cool.
took that storyline and turned her into a different leader, which you'll find out.
Yes, we were really, really excited when we were. I want to thank 41 Entertainment for being open to all of our ideas because I wanted to. We wanted to create a book that could be a jumping on point if you had never heard of Princess Gwenevere. And we also wanted to make something that had nods for people that have been lifelong fans. So it was fun to kind of find a balance between those things. And I really loved the ideas that Jordy had for Fallon's character because Fallon is so cool in the TV show, but it's not Fallon in the Jewel Rider. So it was nice to give Fallon something
more spotlight.
Yeah, a little bit more spotlight. Give each of the girls more of a chance to shine. And yeah, Fallon's still very cool. I think rewatching the show as an adult, I realized just how strong Fallon is and how like she's not afraid of anything, and that's really cool to see when you're a kid. I think it must have flown over my head as a kid that as an adult I was like, oh my gosh, like all of these girls are so brave. Fallon is so strong.
I think the thing is that having a character, and often in this time period, there was always some sort of character of color or something like that. But Greg did talk about Fallon's skin coloring as well, and that it's not to say like okay she's African or she's Caribbean or whatever. Like it's a very just kind of like you could be whatever you are, and you can identify with her and say no, that's the character that I recognize. And so many people also I feel like. People who are queer have identified with Fallon as well because they see her kind of as like, she's the tomboy, she's the brave one, as you said. So yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot to be said for Fallon as a character.
Yeah.
Plus, she incorporates all the different colors. She's got pink, teal, and purple.
She gets every color.
Purple is a power color.
It is.
Like,
It's a
And
royalty
she
color.
has a cape.
Yeah, like yeah, purple is definitely like you're flexing hard if you can do purple.
Right.
Purple's a color that's strong.
I will be really curious to know, because I have been living kind of the Jewel Riders graphic novel world for over a year, and I'm so excited for it to be out there for people to see it. I was especially excited like when I finally got to send you a finished copy of it. I'm so excited to see what people think of what we did, because there's so much love from the entire team for the series. Oh, I know we did a podcast with y'all where we all talked about that this is important to us. I'm so excited for it to finally be out there and people to get to read it, and oh my gosh, it's a dream come true. Sorry, I'm like trailing off.
No, we love it. But I think the thing is exactly what we're saying, where people sometimes have this idea like, oh, like I don't think that a lot of people really connected with this, or a lot of people don't really remember this show, and yet when we launched the Jewel Riders Archive, I mean, we have a pretty strong following for what it is.
Yeah.
But when you guys started posting on social media about the release of this comic, I feel like all of a sudden people just out of the woodwork and out of everywhere, and they're all like, oh my gosh, it's Jewel Riders, it's Jewel Riders. I'm like, where have all you guys been for the past 10 years? Like, I mean, we've been running since 2015, and now all of a sudden, there's thousands and thousands and thousands of impressions on like X, and it's like all these people. My goodness,
It's amazing how many times I've read, I thought I dreamt this show, or I'm so excited that it's back, and the response to the designs that Coy did have been overwhelming for me in terms of just reading how positive everyone is and how excited about because Coy, I think, really did the original designs justice. Like, you can tell which girl is which immediately, but they feel a little bit more now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I can't resist diving back in here. Oh my god. He's so cool. I love Drake so much. His
I know. I saw.
But oh my gosh, Drake is cool. The pack is very cool.
And you guys did justice to the pack because you gave them a little bit more storyline.
Yes.
Because I feel like so many guys in girl shows, they just really weren't.
They're just guys.
Exactly.
They're basically interchangeable. And I do want to compliment Jordy for that, because when we talked about what Drake's art was going to be in the book, she crafted this completely beautiful storyline for him, where he's growing, he's coming into his own, and I don't think it's a story that guys get to see often. It's not becoming this all-powerful hero, it's learning how to be more of yourself.
Right.
And also Drake is just genuinely Drake.
He is.
Oh man. I did not have any of the boy toys. I just had girls.
Drake. The only guy that was made, even though there's 3 of them. Max and Josh just get no love.
Oh, they're in the book.
Well, now they do. I just meant back in 1995. Exactly. I mean, look, Josh has a card. He has a sealed card, and Jared, and I think Chris was very specific because
the good ones.
Well, the thing is that when Chris picked them out, he also gave you the pack, and he gave you Archie and the Crystal Palace, Lady Kale, Wisp,
Oh my god.
Dweezil.
Oh, he was so
So he
specific.
was, and Merlin, and it's like none of Tamara, none of Fallon, none of.
Wait, I see Wintermane.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yes,
gosh.
there's even Winter.
The foil, yeah.
Right.
He was like, oh, I guess so.
He pretty much handpicked, I think, the characters that weren't really as well showcased throughout the rest of the
But
merchandise.
I agree. I think it is important whenever they take these characters that they didn't really have a backstory, and through these these second comings of products, you're able to like go deeper, and that's what a lot of us want. We're like, oh man, I wish they would have just like. There's always this one part of a show or a character that you're like, I wish they would have just gone a little bit further with that one, just because I like.
Well, you only have like 22 minutes.
Yeah, and it's just like, man, I wish at least he could have gotten backstory or something like that. Because you're like, I bet that. It's always good to know like where these people came from, or just adding. It allows you to be able to dive deeper into the story and feel like you're more part of the world whenever you can understand characters better.
Right.
You know? And so
I think maybe you also were probably one of those unique, 9-year-olds who was actually thinking that, because I think that so many kids, when they watch shows, you just get so sucked into it. You're like, I'll just take whatever you give me. Like, you're going to tell me the story that you tell me, I'm going to love it. But I think that as creatives, when we think about those world building opportunities, when we think about the backstories, like, I think that, people who are writing the shows, they probably thought, okay, somewhere out there, somewhere in Kansas City, some child is watching this and is going to appreciate this little nod to this backstory or whatever it might be.
I think for me it was in Gwen's Circle of Friendship ceremony. You see all those animals come out that aren't her special friend, and I remember like sitting so close to my TV looking at all of the different animals because they were all so beautifully designed. They felt otherworldly. Like you could tell that one is an antelope. When you got very close to the antelope had these emerald horns, and there was a panther with wings, and they felt real but just fantastical. And I have so much appreciation for the animal design in Gwenevere and Jewel Riders. Just every animal feels real, but in this like beautiful distant way. And I thought about the rejected Special Friends animals all the time. They didn't get paired. I assumed that they went on to live beautiful, wonderful lives.
Of course they did. They're living their best life right now. So the toys, as we saw in the little insert here, they came with the Jewel Adventure, which is kind of your core set, and then from there were the Deluxe Adventures, and then, which I always find it funny that they're calling Jewel Adventure. I don't know when you go adventuring in your ball dress, but
Just casually.
that's how you do it. Apparently, you go trekking through the mud in your ball gown.
So what's that? This feels like a magnet.
It is.
What's that?
It's for Wendy from Fairyland. So she comes with the animals. We'll find them later down there. So we'll leave Fallon out so that way she can make sure to put Wendy on there.
I wanted this so bad. I loved that. Like I loved their
her
adventure.
shoes the best.
Yeah.
She has the coolest shoes. Yeah.
I love their adventuring outfits, but I've always been like a ball gowns and dresses girl, so it was always nice to see Gwen all done up.
Yeah, the deluxe dolls are definitely some of my favorites. I think that also because, I collected Barbie as a kid, so for me these were the closest to like dolls.
Yeah.
Like even though these are essentially dolls, they're more like action figures with some like armor pieces. Like I liked these ones. So there's
more accessories. I always thought I felt like, because we didn't have a lot of money growing up, so I did have fewer toys than most people. So whenever I would...
Not anymore.
Oh, yeah. So, when I was a kid, my favorite toy, I'll show y'all later, it's here, but it's little Robin from Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
But he had two capes sewn together, and I just thought they put so much more effort into this. And to me, that a lot of times was you could see the effort that they put in, and now, sometimes they'll take away articulation, and it's like, no, you're going backwards.
Right.
The more articulation is better, I wanted to be able to,
do all the action poses. Have the dolls sit on your shelf.
There was always those characters where they had them squatting, that was their pose, was squatting or something, and so it's they could never sit, they could never stand. It was just what were y'all thinking? I don't know, to me I liked it. I could tell when they thought about it a lot more.
And Greg will be so appreciative of that because again, he's gone into so much depth about that, about, we talked about, well, how much more would it be to add this, or if I could change this, or whatever it is. So he understands it, and coming from a background with Mattel and then later with Kenner, he is one of those toy designers that was okay, but what story is this telling? Right now I designed this toy, but what are they going to be doing? How can the child interact with it? What can they do? So
I always loved the detail of having them actually holding
the jewels.
And that sticks in my head. That sticks in my head.
And then she has the sunstone. So
because I think for at least for me, this was my introduction to magical girls, and because it came at a time where I don't know how much magical girl media there was in America.
Right.
And
which you can read a blog about. It's Western and Magical Girls, available on the Drawers Archive. But yes, this is one of the early time periods. I mean, there were others. Obviously, Amethyst,
Yes.
Princess of Gemworld. That's probably the earliest one that we have here in Western culture. But yes, I mean, they were not as prevalent, like let's say as like Sailor Moon.
yeah,
Or
well,
other,
and this was just before Sailor Moon too, and it's interesting to go back and look at the marketing for this show and see that it was outperforming Sailor Moon at the time. It had such a massive cultural impact, and then Sailor Moon really took off.
Oh, of course. See, what if Sailor Moon hadn't come to the United States in 1995? What if this had been just what people got?
What butterfly effect would have happened?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's fascinating, just like the things that a person does, it just drastically changes the culture.
Well, because as we were talking about with Magical Girls, it's like we had Amethyst, Princess of Gemworld, and of course Wonder Woman.
Yes.
And then, I mean, there really seems to be a little bit of a lull where there wasn't really a lot of Western Magical Girls happening. Maybe Rainbow Bright and things like that.
Yeah.
All right, what else do we have?
Oh, this is cool.
Oh, we got a box doll.
Box.
Yeah,
Oh my
we do
God.
love box toys, you know.
Wow.
So Deluxe Gwenevere.
Seeing the comb, it's like it's coming back. Just how ornate doll combs were.
Yeah.
They really.
I mean, the box art
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
I love the box arts.
And if you
God.
think about the space on the shelf, the fact that they show all the accessories,
Right.
and it's not all compact, it means that they wanted it to be.
Oh my gosh, you can stand
You know.
her on the comb.
Yes.
That's
Oh, you didn't
so
know that?
No, I didn't know
Lauren
that.
was today years old, and she learned something about the toys.
No, because I had,
No,
I
yeah,
had
you can't
these.
put
Mine,
those ones on
mine,
there.
mine did not stand up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Box
Oh my
toy
gosh, and I
too.
love this little like it flips. Oh, that's so cool.
And then to go with Deluxe Gwenevere, we have Jewel Power Gwenevere.
That's what
so
I
here's the main character with the wonderful logo, Princess Gwenevere and the Jewel Riders, which I love the fact that the logo has continued even through the comic.
Yes.
And even on the Jewel Riders archive, that's also our font that I created as well. It says the Jewel Riders, and then this is archive in the banner. So yeah, some really pretty fun.
The logo to me is iconic, and when working with 41 Entertainment, we had a conversation about if we wanted to change the logo for this or for King Arthur. And to me, I think you need the logo. I wanted to be sure that all the people that are like us, that kind of have this vague memory that existing, that we were giving them a shot to be like, I remember the shape of that logo, because it's such a good logo.
It's something that you connect with.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I really like the back of the card. That's one thing that always stood out to me at stores. That was my checklist.
Carded toys.
You know, I kept the card all the time because I was just like, I just stare at it and wonder, can I get those one day?
Well, that's the point. I mean, that's what kids do. Is like you have this whole. It's almost like a checklist. Like, okay, I gotta check to make sure that I got all of them.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
Oh, Lauren's so excited.
I am!
So Sunstar.
Oh my gosh, Sunstar is so cool!
So this is one of the Fashion Star Fillies. I don't know if you've heard of the Sassy 16s or Sweet 16s or something like that, but it's part of the Kenner line. It was actually what they created to try to go up against My Little Pony.
Okay.
So Kenner created these Fashion Star Filly line, and that's what this mold is.
I really like it.
This is so cool.
And again, Greg was talking about like the translucent plastic, making it look like magic, and the same thing with like the legs and everything.
I like that a lot
The
better
light
than.
piping too.
Yeah, the light piping from the top of the head to showcase.
Oh
the
my
movement.
gosh, and the legs, this is so cool!
Yeah.
Lauren's so excited.
I am!
What other treasures
I'm
do we have
I'm
in
trying
there?
very
definitely
hard
one
to
of the
be
pieces
cool
that you
about
wish you
this,
had.
but yes. Oh my gosh, the legs.
To go with your cups over here.
Oh, what I love about this is that all of the stones are represented. Like, even though the plate only has Guinevere on it,
Has
you
all
have
the other artwork.
all the other artwork.
I love this art.
It's not the same.
Pretty.
It's very nostalgic.
Oh, I love this.
The VHS.
Oh yeah.
And this is also a screener tape as well. So this is not what it always looked like. So the back is a little bit different. But yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Yes, this is the memory I have.
Of Jewel
yes,
Quest.
this is every time I talk about standing in Toys R Us, this is the art. Gosh, and what's funny is seeing the Family Home Entertainment logo, I immediately can see the paintbrush.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Such a clear memory of seeing this and thinking this had to be the coolest thing that anyone had ever invented.
Well, I think that this just supports more about, tangible memories and how important merchandising and memorabilia and
Physical
everything
copies.
something that is created to go with a product is just so important, and how these things are now over 25 years old, and we're still, oh my gosh, this is so pretty, and this is so cool, and this is so this and that.
I'm losing my mind over Sunstar.
I know,
I'm so sorry, my precious turkey. You are beautiful. I was wrong.
At least the Kenner toy, you are beautiful, because it's a lot more innate than what the animation art was. Yeah.
We got accessory
We do have some accessories in here. So as you were talking about earlier, there's the jewel box for Deluxe Gwenevere. We have Drake's flag.
Oh, and it's even like holographic in there too.
We have some combs for the unicorns. We have the moon and the sun for the unicorns. Some of the deluxe combs over here, and then I wanted to.
How would they stand on the?
It's got these little notches.
There's little notches there, right there, and then they have notches on the feet, and they're supposed to stand up. But
I'm not gonna lie,
I don't know.
I'm surprised other toy companies didn't steal that idea,
right?
Because that's very clever.
So this is the jewel box that we were talking about. The jewels are on the opposite side, and then what you use is the magnetic.
That's so
and
cool.
And it's supposed to flip the. She's not very powerful after 25 years, but I think it's because the hologram is.
Yeah, the hologram is a little.
That's okay.
Curved.
But yeah, that's what it is. So yeah.
That's a cool gimmick on the toy.
Yeah.
And then Fallon over here, you were asking about.
Yeah, that's about the hand magnet.
Let's land Windy on there.
Oh, that's so cool.
Right?
That's cool.
Her wings even kind of clasp down when she lands.
It's just
really
such
cool,
attention to detail. That's so cool.
I love it. I think we have one more thing. One more thing.
Which these are so iconic. Every kid had one of these or something.
A sound book.
Yeah.
Have you seen this before?
I can't tell if I just owned a million sound books growing up or if I owned this one in particular, but.
Well, we could say this is the early Jewel Riders comic because it was a publishing. It was a piece.
Look, there are the animals that I talked about.
Cool.
Exactly,
Yeah,
the animals that did not get to be Guinevere's special friend. Oh my gosh.
We just recently released a video on YouTube that has all the sounds. I recorded all those different sounds and everything.
I love books like these.
And I mean, there's definitely things in here that I had no idea about. I did not know about the party supplies. I did not know about the lunchbox. I didn't know about the book. I didn't know, about so many things when it was out. So the fact that we have accumulated all of this over the years, I mean, we've been around since 2015, but we've been collecting essentially since 1995.
Yeah.
So it's just it's so crazy the amount of merchandise that has been accumulated, and this is again just a very small part of the archive because we have so much more of the kit bash, as we were talking about, the prototypes, the international merchandise, because also it was known as Starla and the Jewel Riders overseas, and just so much more. So this is what we're giving to this Houston Toy Museum to have on loan for right now.
I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun.
I am so excited about this, and I cannot thank you enough for your generosity in putting this on loan.
Your trust.
It's a dream come true to be working on Gwenevere as an adult, and I really appreciate all of the work you've done in terms of compiling the archive, and I found it extremely invaluable as I was working on it, and it was nice to be able to go there if I had questions, or I could pull reference for other people in different departments. And it was also exciting to know that there were people out there that were as passionate about this property as I am, who would be just as excited when the book came out and when we were finally allowed to talk about it, because sitting on this secret was really, really really
Of
hard.
course, you were like, I've got something to say, but I can't say it just yet.
I can't say it. Like there were so many days that I'd just be wandering around my apartment being like, I want to talk to someone about this.
I get you. I get you. Well, I'm so excited to have all of this on loan. I'm so excited for people who are going to be able to see this and to have the cereal morning and to watch Jewel Quest and to everyone to be able to say, she's a turkey! All
so
together,
funny.
it's just very exciting. So, well, I wish you the best, Matt, with all of this, and please be sure to post about it and tell all of our viewers about it.
It's going to be, I'm really excited. It's our first, like, sponsored cereal party, and I feel so thankful, and I feel like you are doing us a favor. Like, I feel like we feel so blessed that you trust us with this. You know, we are a small museum, but we put a lot of work into this.
Yeah.
And when people trust us with their memories, we don't take that lightly. That it's very, very important. These toys, they, without us knowing it, they help us choose our lives.
Of course. I found my best friend.
And
That's how Chris and I met.
It's really, it means a lot that y'all would trust us with your memories. And I hope that you just keep sharing your more, because it's been so fun talking to y'all, and thanks for letting me, feel like I was excited. I love
Us excited?
Yeah.
Never. We're not that
This
excited.
is why I wanted the museum. I like being a part of other people's excitement. And this is, it's fun to find out about y'all from y'all's favorite thing.
Yes.
And it's so.
Well, I know you are going to totally love all of this, and we so appreciate you giving them a temporary home. I mean, truly, as you said, I think that toys are such an important part of so many people's lives, and it brings people together from across the nation and across the seas, and for fans, who are on the other side of the continent, and to be like, oh, I love Jewel Riders, or I love whatever property it is. So that's the amazing power that toys and merchandising have.
Yeah.
And we're so excited. And I hope that you're going to be following us, because we've got the comic coming out. We've got this exhibit here at the Houston Toy Museum. So much happening here at the Jewel Riders Archive. So, as we love to say, we say friends together, and then we say friends forever. So, until next time, friends together, friends forever. Bye, everyone.
I haven't bought one since. And
I found
but this was my favorite. I'd always try to find them if they did that. It's so cool.
I watched the entire show in one weekend just because I had to know exactly like what this world was.
Yeah.
And what strikes me is that this really is like a magical girl story, but for boys. Like, they have their transformations, they have their animals, and they call on power, and I love that they went into the detail giving them all of these really cool transformations that you come to like know and expect out of magical girl media. And it
By the magic of the Sunstone, you're tuned into the Jewel Riders Archive.